Face a tough away fixture at the San Siro tonight, playing last season's finalists Inter Milan in the Champions League. Alisson says his teammates are determined to turn around their form and won't let Salah's absence distract them.
Him not being available, I think, is just a consequence of what he did, and he's smart enough to know that. I didn't spoke to Mo about it, how I want to talk. As I said before, we have a good relationship. I think all the players, they were going to have different thoughts about the situation, and that's okay. But we know the challenges we are facing at this moment, not performing well, not having good results, and that's being difficult enough for us. Those are big challenges for us to try to change this situation. What I hope that he plays again for the club. But that's a personal situation. That's a situation between Mo and the club. We, as his teammates, as his friends, we hope the best thing happens for him. But as Liverpool FC players, we want the best for the club as well. So it's we want a win-win situation for everyone.
I thought it was a disgrace what he did after the game. Some people have painted it as an emotional outburst. I don't think it was. I think whenever Mo Salah stops in a mix zone, which he's done 4 times in 8 years at Liverpool, it's choreographed with him and his agent to cause maximum damage and strengthen his own position. And he chose that time to go for the manager and maybe try and get him sacked. That's the way I felt about it. The one line that stands out for me is thrown under the bus. He's tried to throw the club under the bus twice in the last 12 months. I think the club have made the right decision in terms of him not going abroad now. And whether he will play for Liverpool again, I don't know. I hope he does, because he's one of the greatest players we've ever had. But if you continue like that and statements like that, if he doesn't play, as I said, who cares? Who knows?
So he's been left behind by Liverpool boss Arne Slot for tonight's Champions match against Inter Milan. And he's posted online with no caption here, just himself alone in the gym at Liverpool. And it's been liked by Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper we've just heard from, and the former teammate of his, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Jay Bothroyd's with us until midday. And you laughed when we showed that earlier. Well, about the likes. Why?
No, because sometimes on social media you're scrolling through and you see your mate come up and you just like everything. You don't necessarily just pay attention to it or read into it. So like I'm not gonna take that as anything like, oh, Trent agrees with Salah or Alisson agrees with Salah. I think it's just more like light-hearted, just likes really. Right.
Okay. What about we're going to speak to a Liverpool fan in a moment, and loads of you are getting in touch, by the way. What do you think the reaction is going to be in the stadium tonight from the Liverpool fans? Can you see them chanting Salah's name, or do you think they'll be backing Slot over Salah?
To be honest, I think fans will be backing Slot because no one is bigger than the club. You know, Liverpool is going to go on far longer than Salah. So again, it's disrespectful to the fans, to the club, to his teammates. And he's made this situation about him. But I think the Liverpool fans will be cheering for the team, getting behind the team and, you know, helping them get back on track.
Well, let's bring you this, actually. It's an interview with Salah from back in January. He spoke to our reporter, Patrick Davison, about his role under Slot.
So how's the new manager changed things for you then?
I defend less. He doesn't want to believe it, but fight. No, kidding. But I think the way we play is completely different. I think we always, with Jurgen, we stuck to what we're doing. Doesn't matter what we do, that because we do that for 7-8 years, we are the best of doing it. The manager now is just changed slightly, somehow depend of the game, which we didn't do that before. In my game, I think now the team rely on me a little bit more than before. And I think somehow it's helping me just to express myself and just play my game and improving some parts.
Okay, so he's being asked to do something different from the previous manager, which I guess is normal, but how difficult can it be for a player?
That's not normal, to be honest. Like he got asked last year to defend less. Okay, fine. So why did he defend more than this year? That makes no sense to me. You know, yes, he's still a professional player. He still knows that he has to help his teammates out. So I disagree with that. I mean, we can play that comment as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if he got told to defend less last year, why did he defend more than this year? The only thing that, coincides with this is, signing a new deal. Obviously, he was hungry for that new deal. He got his new deal. Again, I allude back to it's not what you've done in the past. It's not what you've done last year or the years before, because there's no doubt about it. Salah has been unbelievable and he's scored an unbelievable amount of goals. But ultimately, you always have to update your resume. When the team is not playing well, and he's not playing well individually, he should be the one of the players that's galvanising everyone, helping to get everyone back on track. Because like he said there, Liverpool rely on him. They should be relying on him now, and he's not performing.
What happens in a change room when this kind of thing happens, though, with his teammates? Because Alisson says he's going to talk to him in private.
Listen, in the change room, not everyone likes each other, first and foremost. But it's going to be split. There's going to be some players that are like, why has he gone out and said that now? That's selfish and whatnot. And then there's going to be other players like Alisson, I think, that would say, you shouldn't have spoke out. If you had something to say, you should have addressed Slot privately in his office, not air your dirty laundry in public. It's the wrong thing to do. I think you should maybe go and apologise to everyone in the dressing room, the manager. And if you do everything publicly, like Salah's done, you should make the apologies publicly as well, so everyone knows. Just like the Everton player that got a red card the other day that was arguing with Keane. Gay. It's like he made a public, he had a public argument with Keane on the pitch, but he made a public apology. And it is forgotten. Everyone can move forward.
Get on to Arne Slot in a moment, because I know you had strong opinions on him last time. But in terms of Salah, do you believe this is the end of his Liverpool career?
Yeah, it looks like it for me. I wish he could stay longer. I want him to at least see out the rest of the season and try and turn things around. But I just think when you come out and say things like this, I don't really have a massive problem actually what he said. I think it's more the way he's kind of gone about it and the timing of it all. But that to me sounds like the words of someone who either could have an offer on the table or, I don't know. It seems like there's something premeditated there where he feels like maybe there's no way back. I think if Salah knew there was a way back, I don't think he'd come out at that time with those comments the way he did.
Montel, I don't know if you heard me speak last year. I was kind of like of the pretense, listen, you shouldn't give players what they want just because what they've done, especially in their 30s, 33, because you're giving someone retirement money. You're saying, thanks so much for what you've done. We're going to give you something for the future. But there is no future. Everyone's levels drop off as you get older. One of Salah's main attributes is his pace. If he could reinvent himself and play as a number 10 or play somewhere else, he could be maybe more effective, like the likes of Rooney's and, like I said, Henry's. There's lots of players here who are Ibrahimovic, Kane,
Sheringham.
Giggs, like all of these players. But he's not able to do that because his technique is not as good as theirs.
What I would say is that I'm pretty sure Henry was in the MLS by 33. I'm pretty sure.
He went to Barcelona and reinvented his game. I'm talking about when he loses his main attributes, not necessarily like his age.
But Salah's 33. Salah's playing at a higher level than any of those guys did at 33. I'm not saying he's better than any of those guys.
He's playing at Messi at 33.
No. I'm not.
Ronaldo at 33.
The names you mentioned, you didn't say Ronaldo. You said Henry and Rooney.
Rooney, Messi, Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, Kane,
cool. I'm
Giggs.
not talking about so much Ibrahimovic or even Kane.
So you're talking about the one that fits your narrative then?
No, hold on. It's not fit my narrative. Cool, fair enough. I'm saying that Mo Salah has reinvented himself because last season and this season, Mo Salah's attributes physically haven't changed much from last season.
They have. His sprints back. He sprints back, he's defending back, he's lower than last year. When he got told last year not to run as much.
He covers more kilometres on average this year than he does last year.
He covers more kilometres this year?
Yes, this year on average.
His output, his sprints back this year is lower than last year.
regardless, I'm not going to go
No,
back.
that's not regardless. That's why he's not playing, right? When you go for a tough time in a team, you have to work hard. If you're not playing well going forward, you have to do something.
No, Salah's been poor because he's been poor in all factors.
Okay.
Working hard, technique, decision making.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's not playing.
No. But you said he's struggling to reinvent himself.
I'm saying he's struggling to reinvent himself. This is my position, right, with him. If he's not working back and his dribbles are down, he's not defending, he's not scoring, right? Maybe it's if he could reinvent himself and put him in another position where he could be effective, then it's different. When you're a winger, you have to do them hard yards, forward and back.
No, I hear it. I hear what you're saying. But what I'm saying is Salah has reinvented himself many a time. He's become a touchline winger. He's been an inside forward. Salah has stopped using his raw pace in the last 2 years. Salah physically lost a massive yard of pace. I'd say about 2-3 years ago. Last season, Salah wasn't bombing up and down, doing loads of things. He was getting the ball where he needed to, and he was being decisive when he needed to.
Salah's sprints are at the lowest he's ever had in his career. So what are you talking about? Again, he covers the same distance, if not more. Covers more distance now on
average.
One's talking about, listen, Montel,
the system has also
no one's
changed.
talking about jogging around the football pitch, right? Anyone can jog around the football. I could come out of retirement and jog around the football pitch.
That's fine, Jay.
It's sprints, it's high-intensity runs, forward and back. They are what he's been doing.
The way the system has changed.
System now.
The whole team. I'm not blaming it solely on the system. I'm just saying Mo Salah on many occasions has reinvented himself. And yes, in my opinion,
when did he need to reinvent himself? When you're in your mid-20s, you don't need to. When you're in your 20s, you don't need to because he's being effective.
My overall point is that Salah has lost his pace long before last season. He didn't lose his pace over the summer.
What do you mean he's lost his pace? He was still breezing past people last season. His sprints were up last season. He's sprinting back. He's sprinting forward. He was efficient last season.
He was efficient last season with his decision-making more so than anything else. Physically, Mo Salah has already been on the decline. Mo Salah's physical decline has not started from last year.
It started this year, Montel. His decline started this year.
You're not going to agree on the decline thing, but what do you think about the fan reaction tonight, Montel? Because this is the first game since he did that interview.
In terms of the fan reaction, it's been interesting to see from my perspective. Listen, I agree. There's no player is bigger than the club. There's no player bigger than the club. And this whole Salah versus Slot thing is frustrating as a fan to see. And as you guys know, because for me, I believe what Salah's saying because he said there's been no communication. He's had no communication. Whether guys want to believe that or not, remember.
But why is that Slot's fault? Why is that Slot's fault?
Hold on.
Why is that Slot's fault? If you want to communicate...
Let me know my point. Let me know my point because I'm going somewhere. 9 days ago, Salah was starting every game. And we were all calling for him to be dropped. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. We're all calling for him to be dropped. Salah needs to be dropped. With all the money he's on, he shouldn't be playing. Right. I think, for me, there is no way that Salah would come out and speak for just being dropped for 3 games and one of which he's come off the bench. For me, there is way more behind this. And I think this actually, and I'm annoyed at Salah because this is a distraction. It's a distraction from how bad this coach is. It's a distraction.
Montel. Hang on, he's putting the blame on Slot here. Just explain more. It sounds, if I'm right, that you're putting the blame on the manager, not the player.
Yes.
So
No. Salah has his part to play. Salah has his part to play because all he needs to do was wait a little bit longer and this manager would be gone like he deserves to be.
Listen, Montel. He's an experienced player, right? He's an experienced player. He's not a young player. He knows what's right and wrong. Even Alisson has backed that and said that. He knows what's right and wrong. He obviously, Alisson said today that he knows that he shouldn't have done what he done, right? That's what he said. And I'm saying to you, sorry, let me land now. I'm saying to you that he knows better. If he had a problem with Slot, he should have gone to his office and addressed that problem. He shouldn't have gone in the media and said what he said because he's made that situation now about himself. Liverpool are already in a tough situation. Okay, right. Liverpool do not need this. Now, there's going to be players in that dressing room that's going to be split. That's going to be upset with him. He's just made the whole situation worse. So for you to say that, it's Slot's fault and not Salah, if Salah really wanted to talk to him, he could have talked to him in private.
I said Salah's timing. I'm annoyed at Salah's timing.
You said you backed Slot just now. I mean, you said you said you backed Salah over Slot.
I also said Salah has distracted the world away from how bad this manager is. So again,
but you said you backed Salah over Slot.
Salah has made this.
He did say he was annoyed with
himself,
Salah, though. He did say he was annoyed with Salah.
Yeah, but if you're backing Salah over Slot, then you're on Salah's side and not Slot's. You want Slot to get the sack, don't you?
Say that again.
But he has said that. Montel, you said it was last Monday, wasn't it? I think,
yes.
Montel, last Monday, after you'd beaten West Ham, you said you still wanted Slot gone, and since then it's been 2 draws, home to Sunderland and away at Leeds. So your opinion, as we can see, hasn't changed. If anything, hasn't even strengthened.
My opinion hasn't changed because his man management is horrible. I broke down why this manager should be gone, and everyone was so surprised. Everyone was so shocked at why I wanted the manager out after beating who?
There's nothing wrong with that, Montel.
Because
there's nothing wrong with that. You want even him. It's when you come out and you speak against the manager. Listen, Slot obviously has a problem with Salah as well, by the way. That's obvious, right? He doesn't like something in his game. I'm guessing it's his work rate backwards. But Slot hasn't come out publicly and said anything. That's the difference.
Of course. He's not going to... Yeah, of course. And Slot's not going to come out publicly and say anything.
Exactly. And why is that? Because he's thinking about the team.
Yeah, of course, going to think about the team. I'm not saying I'm not annoyed with Salah. I said Salah shouldn't... Again, he shouldn't have spoken out at that moment. I think what he said, there was nothing wrong with what Salah said, me personally. It's just about the way you do it. You can either go to the manager, as you said, there's different ways to do that. I'm not disagreeing with you there. However, my annoyance just comes from the distraction of the manager. We haven't won a game since I made that point a couple of weeks ago.
Listen, Montel, listen, you're absolutely right.
This man, but let me land on this. This man's man management is it's underwater. It's horrible.
Okay,
it's horrible.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine, right? Man management might not be good. But ultimately, the players have a responsibility as well to go and play. Now, for me, I watch Liverpool. I actually, listen, I love Liverpool quietly, right? But at the end of the day, the only people that can take credit from this season so far is Szoboszlai and Ekitike. That's it. Right? I expect the likes of Virgil van Dijk to be to stand up and be counted. Yes, Konate ain't been playing well, but, as you see, in world football, it's always 2 players. Your partnership is what makes your team successful, and it has in the past. This season, it's not like that. But back to Salah, he cannot ever come out publicly and speak like this. It would never happen with the likes of Alex Ferguson. It would never happen even with Arteta. We've seen that with Aubameyang. It would never happen with Guardiola. He needs to understand his position. He is a player employed by Liverpool Football Club. He can't come out and speak against the manager that has been employed by the football club. He is not bigger than the football club.
And that's not, again, and I just don't think he's not a petulant 23-year-old. Salah's a 33-year-old man, and I believe something has happened behind the scenes that has warranted him to come out and speak like this. I just don't think it's solely the 3 times he's been benched. This has clearly been brewing. You're a former footballer. You know how things get. Something has been brewing back in the back room, and clearly Salah's thought to himself, or him and his agent thought, it's fine, speak about this now. I think there's either been an offer on the table or there's been a decision to get him gone from the club, and this is what's caused him to speak out. If it's not that, then fine, call me wrong. That's my theory. But what I do think is that there should have been a better way and a better time for him to come out and say this, because my overall point is, again, no player is bigger than the club, but it's also not Slot FC either. The longer that man is here, the longer this club goes down the gutter. I'm telling you guys for free. This man spoke about Chiesa, and he said the Chiesa has competition, which is why he's not playing. Gakpo is churning out stinker after stinker every single week. And who's Gakpo's competition? Rio. He also said that Rio's played enough minutes for a 17-year-old that a 17-year-old should be playing. So that's a catch-22 in itself. You're contradicting yourself there. He said there's competition on the right side of midfield when the midfielder.
Who's contradicting himself? Who's contradicting himself?
Arne Slot. He said that Chiesa has competition on the right and the left. Well, Salah's been dropped and Szoboszlai's playing on the right, and he's not a right winger.
Yeah, but your best games that you've played this season is when Wirtz has been playing on the right. You beat Frankfurt. You've played some good games. Goals hasn't been.
Our best games also been against West Ham. Who are West Ham right now? This is my point.
Hold on, it's 5-1 against Frankfurt.
This is not the level.
Hold on. Goals hasn't been your problem. goals hasn't been your problem,
Yes,
right?
it has.
No,
It's more than goals. It's
24
going
goals in the
forward. There's
Premier
no
League
attack.
you scored this season.
Yes.
24
Yes,
goals.
because this is from individual talent.
24.
FC.
Listen, Montel. 24 goals has been scored this season. Your defensive record is what's been your problem. That's the problem.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, when we talk about Salah, going forward, there's no question. It's the defensive work that's in question now. That's what's in question, and that's why he's been dropped, I suspect.
Right. Yeah,
Okay, well, okay.
Final question here, Montel. I know you're disagreeing with that. That's fine, because that's what this show's all about. But we know your views on Arne Slot. And I know that you've said that you'd like Mo Salah to turn it around and leave, potentially leave in the summer. For this situation, we know that you want the manager out. If someone comes in, probably Saudi Arabia, for Mo Salah in January, would you let him go to stop us talking about all this?
So but there was a choice for him to stay.
Yeah, you could reject the offer. I'm putting you in charge of it. You reject the offer.
If Salah's looking to let bygones be bygones and we go again, and we can stop this whole malarkey, then I'd let him stay, because for me, everyone seems to think that because Slot won the league, he deserves time, and and I just think by that metric, Salah's not playing well, and with his backlog of what he's done, he also deserves time to turn these things around. That's the way.
Here's a better question for you, Montel. If 50 million come in for Salah, right? Would you use that money? Because you could sign someone. Maybe you could sign Gay. Would you then sell him?
No.
Okay.
I'm not, because.
So you were saying to me, you were saying to me, we wish we had a sign Gay.
Yeah, but to me, the way the club was already looking at buying Semenyo anyways, and Gay, he looks like he could, the club is already going to be going for Gay in the summer.
What's Semenyo got to do with this?
Well, that would be
defenders.
Yeah, but they'd have to replace Salah. They'd have to replace Salah.
Why do they need to replace Salah with another? You need a defender.
Hold on. Let me land. My point is that the money is already there. Liverpool up in a financial position to still spend money freely. So us getting an extra 50 million from Salah don't mean none.
Yeah, but taking the wages off would mean something. Okay, exactly. Montel, thank you.
Thank you, Montel.
Indumentaria, la Kings Limited Gold Edition. Solo hay 50 unidades de todos los equipos y también puede ser vuestra entrando en kingsleague.pro. Así que es los datos a tener en cuenta en cuanto a indumentarias. Gran partido, Gonzalo, Gerard, el que tenemos por delante.
Ojo, estilo La Bombonera, estadio de River.
Hostia, más minutos de retraso en el inicio, ¿eh? Ya tenemos lío.
Lo llamó Edo, dibujando la parábola sobre la banda derecha, donde en el vértice del área aparece Nadir. ¡Nadir para adentro! ¡Gol! De Nadir Lua, que tiene una facilidad pasmosa. Encuentra a Pablo, qué balón para Nadir para el segundo. Se zafa de Cócera, es un golazo. ¡Es un golazo! Señoras, señores, bienvenidos al show de Nadir Lua. Pibe.
El mejor.
Vamos
haciendo espionaje, ¿eh?
Vaya mierda dado, pibe. Va, ya te puedes ir a la cúpula a comer, va.
Hay que salir Cócera para entregar hacia el centro. Se la regala Coy, le puede pegar Coy para adentro.
Vaya chicha, nano.
¡Gol! De Porcinos Óscar Coy. Pues sí.
Pero es que, señores,
Pero te lo dije,
Tenemos, ¿cómo lo usamos?
penalti.
Será penalti.
Vamos, Cuni.
Puede meter en el partido a Cuni. Jordi para adentro, ¡qué golazo!
¡Guau!
¡Dios!
¡Gol! Vamos con Nadir Lua y con Laura Vizcaíno.
Pues sí, Nadir, 2 goles, victoria y a cuartos, enhorabuena.
Sí, sabíamos que el partido iba a ser muy importante porque veníamos de una muy mala dinámica. El equipo ha estado bien, sufríamos defensivamente y creo que hemos estado muy juntitos. Y nada, primer objetivo cumplido.
Os espera Science, rival complicado, imagino.
Sí, empatamos contra ellos y en shootout perdimos. Ha quedado segundo por algo. Nada, concentración, confianza con nosotros mismos y intentar ganar para el sábado estar en el Wizzing.
Os lo veremos mañana, mucha suerte.